Hello, dear Sagittarius. I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your March 2022 horoscope. And we kick off the month with a beautiful, sweet, compassionate, healing, psychic Pisces new moon. And Mercury will be canoodling Saturn. So whatever ideas and dreams and bringing something into reality, that can really happen for all of us. And for you in particular, Sag, this is if you have your sun, moon, or rising sign in the sign of Sagittarius. It could be affecting your third and fourth houses. And so you may be communicating with your family, with loved ones, with parents about what you feel intuitively you all need in order to feel safe, to feel at home. This can give you creative avenues that can give more to your home life. It can help you feel stable. And so that way you have that solid foundation that you can launch. And with this being a Pisces new moon, we're working with setting intentions, and we're looking at planting seeds for our future, for the next, say, 28-day cycle, or even because you're so forward long-term thinking, you love the adventure, Sag, that you may be looking at ways to communicate, to share with those closest to you long-range plans. And so you could, let's say you're in a bonded relationship, you start thinking and dreaming about the future together. Maybe there's the next stage of your relationship that you want to do with each other, plan a family or buy a house together. Those of you who are dating or you're looking to date, then this could give you an opportunity. I'll speak first to those of you who are dating, that you may start to talk about what your future looks like together, giving you more connection with that person of going, wow, I think we really do vibe because we're talking about our future, making plans. And if you're single, Sag, and you're looking to date, then this may be the time where you turn your attention and say, who makes me feel like I belong? Or when I am going to connect with somebody, it may happen because you're having a house party or you've invited a bunch of family to get together. And this could be, let's say, the cousin of one of your friends that shows up, right? So there's so many different ways that you setting these intentions can help you manifest your hopes and your dreams so that you can feel more at home and more at peace with yourself. You may be setting intentions to connect and learn more about your local community with this third house being activated. And this can give you a chance to stand up and share your ideas, to speak, to connect. Maybe you're releasing some idea out into the community that's of great benefit. And it can, I'll say this, Sag, I have this visual just for a second of some of you inviting, like, I'll call them home groups, where if you belong to a organization that needs to have like meetings and in-person meetings are happening again, that you invite them into your home instead of maybe going to a building or a park, something of that nature. And that helps you feel more connected to your community. You could also be setting intentions to begin some sort of course, certification, maybe a writing project. Some of you Sagittarius are ready to write a book, or you're writing a dissertation, studying for a major exam. And so you can find yourself preparing and getting ready for all of that. You may also be inspired and encouraged around this time by your family members and by loved ones. And you can certainly access information from the imaginal realm. So if you get an intuitive hit that you want to share with somebody that you call beloved, share away. And we have Venus, Mars canoodling still in Capricorn for the next couple of days, the first week of March, and before it transits into the sign of Aquarius. So before that happens, right around this new moon, these two cosmic lovers will be canoodling with Pluto, activating your second house. So there's powerful and transformative opportunities that can come to you where you add value, where you look and see, is this making sense for me to continue to do, and have this real powerful opportunity to maybe buy something, a possession, a tangible form that transforms your home. It transforms your everyday life. It helps you feel good. For instance, I'll share this real quick. I have a daughter who is a Sag, and she texted me not too long ago and said, here's a beautiful dress. I love it so much, but the sticker shock is a little too much. And then, a couple hours later, she says, I bought it, I deserve it. That's a perfect example of this Venus, Mars, canoodling, and Pluto. It transforms the way she's thinking about herself. She's right. She does deserve it. She works hard. She is beautiful. And you know what? It's her self-expression. So that may be something that you do. So you purchase something that makes you feel as though you're transformed, you're empowered, and you just feel good about it. As I say, if it doesn't pass the Jamie Dawn test, meaning if you don't love it, don't buy it, check in with yourself, because you don't want buyer's remorse here. Now, things may take on a new form of income here for you as well, allowing you to purchase something that has real staying power. So you may be thinking this first week of like, maybe I need to buy a new home or a second home or a new car. It's something that has long lasting benefits. It could be a beautiful piece of furniture that just makes your home feel that much more homey. Relationships can either be a power struggle during this time, which can actually, if you're willing to work through like conflict resolution, that it can actually create deeper understanding and deeper bonding for you. And if you are having to resolve a particular issue, that it may come up from nowhere, and it may be something that you felt a little powerless over, and yet you can take a mature and methodical approach to it and find some really good solutions. You could also attract a situation where you have to defend your ideas here. And what that may be, it could be around your income. There's some form of work that you may be doing where, or let's say value spending, and you have to say, no, I bought it because I deserve it. Or no, I believe in the work so much, it has great meaning for me. I deserve to take that next step, or this is the thing that needs to happen and I'm not going to back off from that. You could also run into some form of verbal power struggle. So watch out for that, where people are butting heads during this first week, because they might be feeling a little bit out there with all this Piscean energy. There's not a lot of boundaries. And I have this quote on my computer that reminds me, if I didn't, let's see, if there was nothing to bump into, how would I know if I was falling or flying? And so you may be setting some boundaries and others don't necessarily like them. And so you may get into some sort of power struggle with that. So just keep that in mind, that it could come up. However, I feel this first week of March is going to be super sweet. And then we have your ruling planet, Jupiter, canoodling with the sun the first weekend of March, creating this expansive quality, this energizing quality, magical quality in your fourth house of home and family, of your past, your roots, also where the parents are attributed. Well, you could have some great luck when it comes to family members, seeing that all of your hard work from the past is finally paying off, that you can start to feel really cocooned with your family, supported. You may find more hope and faith returns regarding feeling secure and proud of your family and of your home, especially those of you who have been doing a lot of healing work around your ancestral roots or around the past dynamics, whether it was with a sibling or a parent. Now, there's that phrase that said, blood is thicker than water. Well, it really, the full phrase is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So some of you may be finding more security around this time around not family of origin, but family of choice. And so this is all setting you up to be able to feel as though you can launch your goals. You can be truly who you are and not give away and be of great sacrifice for don't sacrifice yourself on the altar of somebody else's agenda, because being true to yourself and being able to feel secure within yourself will then inspire and be a role model for others, especially when it comes to family members and things like that. Now, the other thing that's indicated here, if you're in a home-based business or you work from home, you may find that it expands. You could find new clients coming out of the woodwork. You may find that you collaborate with others in home-based businesses. There could be some homeschooling that happens around this time where you decide, you know what, I'm going to take my kids out of regular school and start homeschooling them because I just don't like the way the system is. That also could be something you're paying attention to. But dreaming really big about your future. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to create a safe space with? That's something that you may contemplate in this time. And I would say that because this weekend is so energized with beautiful aspects, and yes, there's some tension going on in the world, but for you personally, you may be feeling like, you know what, for just a little bit, things have been too heavy. I want to escape. I just want to get away. And you can find that home really is your safe place. So maybe you don't travel like you normally would and that you would enjoy, but you just enjoy binge watching Netflix, or, especially if you're bonded with somebody, that you guys are doing a little bit of home projects, or just vegging together, cooking together, things like that, that just helps you feel a lot more at peace and bonded. Now, Venus and Mars, as I mentioned, the cosmic lovers, we're working with love, romance, sex. We're also working with our motivation, our drive, where we find beauty, harmony, and our values. These two cosmic lovers are going to continue to dance together, but to a new song. And the song is Aquarius, and this will be in your third house, creating opportunities for you to have more learning, which I know you love. But this time you may turn your attention towards unusual things, maybe driven to start something new that's a little bit out there. Take astrology, for example, or something in science or technology, and you want to learn about it. Maybe it's cryptocurrency, and you want to be successful, and you're going to stop at nothing to learn about it and to get those details implemented. You may even draw to you a teacher or a mentor that can help you learn faster, or help you put some of the information into a nice organized place. This is a great placement as well for debating and implementing your ideas. So if you really feel strongly about something, that you can, share it and people can see it, because you can manipulate it just slightly into different angles that they can understand. And that also, because your mind is going to be really sharp here, you can process information quickly and efficiently. People will trust what your idea is, because you've organized it, you know what it is. You could also, because we're working with love and romance, relationships, you can express love through communication and connection. So if you're wanting to connect with someone that you're dating or that you're bonded with, communication is a wonderful tool to do it. And with it being an Aquarius, you can be very objective, maybe a little more lighthearted, friendly, and you can find that common topics can, like, for instance, I can see you guys looking at the news and talking about what's going on in the world and taking a more objective view with it, and mixing it up a little bit with the beloved and going, can you believe that this is happening? How can we get involved? We need to do more. And ideas start formulating. You're like, you look at your partner or your beloved and you're like, oh, I just love the way they think. And this is a like-minded kind of thing, which connects you. So if you felt a little disconnected, maybe because life was busy or you just haven't had time, this is a great energy that for the month of March will allow you to feel a little bit more connected through your words with your beloved. You could find also, a few of you Sagittarius, that there's a secret admirer or somebody who has been sort of in the background, that they suddenly declare their love, their affection for you at this time. And if you're in a relationship, you may have to say, no, thank you. Or this could open up, if you're single, open up an opportunity for you to date and to see them in a different way. You may not have been thinking of them as anything more than just a coworker or a friend or somebody in passing, like at the gym. And suddenly they're like, hey, I'd love to take you to dinner and see where you're at. This also is a time where you could release some form of alternative information that can be of great benefit to others. So again, it's about benefiting and doing something good and meaningful in the world. I will say a few of you Sages are going to have talks with siblings or someone who's like a brother and sister about some things that require long-term planning, something familial here. It's possible that you're dealing with elderly parents or grandparents that need some assistance, or make a transition somewhere in your life that you and your siblings have to come together and work with that. Mercury enters Pisces on March 10th, activating that fourth house even more. So sharing your wisdom and your compassion, your sensitive nature through your words, it's a great placement for a talk therapist or a teacher, the writer or speaker here. So if that's something that interests you, sit down and carve out some space just to, put your thoughts down on paper Dreams and imaginal information, symbols, those of you who are in, say, talk therapy and you want to study something like Carl Jung, this is a great time for you to do that because your ideas can really be stimulated and you can bring heaven on earth, literally. So if you're playing around with psychic information, you're playing around with lucid dreaming, and you want some ideas or solutions, go no further than your meditative state or your dream state. In the fourth house, you want to consider your mind, your intelligence to be a place where you can rest and feel at home as well. So if you are really valuing your wisdom, then that's a beautiful opportunity for you to share it with others to be of great benefit because you feel really at home. You've done the homework. You could also be having discussions regarding a particular subject matter that helps you feel swept away in some beautiful fantasy land. In other words, dreaming of that perfect partner, that new role in your career, that new income. It's a great time actually for your interviews, for making decisions around what it is that you see on a greater level that brings you great satisfaction and great joy and supports your long-term goals and also helps you feel most at home. So in other words, some of you Sagittarius, if you're looking at it from a career standpoint, you may be looking at changing roles and you want it's like you find the perfect job for you because it has the income, it has the flexibility, it has the freedom that you need, it has the support that you need, it lets you shine. Or if you are still in the in-between space, you can find this daydreaming of what it would be like if I was actually in that relationship or in that job. And then you start to put some pieces together and some steps together that can allow you to find those answers and putting yourself in the right place at the right time. The sun will canoodle with Neptune on March 13th, further activating this fourth house, giving your imagination any form of structure that feelings, if you felt constrained or constricted at home, that at this time your imagination can help open it. It can help restructure that so that you don't feel so confined. And you'll find creative ways, creative solutions to expand those boundaries and maybe even blur the lines for a little bit during this time, which gives you some relief. It gives you some joy and some happiness. You might paint a pretty picture of what home, family, healing of the past might look like. Again, activating more opportunities for you to become the best version of yourself. You could be a source of inspiration for those who are in need of a place to feel at home. You can say, hey, come on, stay with me. I mentioned those home groups earlier. That could be a place where others feel like, hey, I'm going to go to the Sagittarius house and I'm just going to sit here, and talk and listen. You can be a great listener because especially during this time, your sensitivity, your empathy, it's going to be at an all-time high. Pay attention to those psychic hits you get, share them. I just see you being the counselor for so many people, even if you're not in that as a profession. Your friends, your family, they're going to be coming to you going, I just need to vent. I need to have another perspective. It is possible that new boundaries or you need to express boundaries in a particular family dynamic could come up. And that is something that you just want to practice your wonderful communication skills with. And stay patient. I know patience is difficult very often, but see if you can be gentle if you can't be patient in those conversations. We have a full moon in Virgo on March 18th. This is further emphasizing your fourth house and also your 10th house. So the moon will be in that 10th house for you, sun in the fourth. And so clutter clearing literally of the home can help. It can help you feel better if you feel constricted or constrained at home. And this is another way that you can free up the energy, get into something like feng shui, or just clear out something. I just see some of you Sagittarius clearing out your garages and your closets and maybe even rearranging furniture because you bought that beautiful piece of furniture earlier in the month that made you feel really good. Yeah. And you have to have a nice place for it. And then you have to bring people into your home so that they can enjoy it. Do you see where I'm going? You may see a family member leave or make a move away from you. And that is because it could be for their betterment. Maybe there's a family member who just needs some extra care and you really can't provide it, or they come to you and you are the caregiver for them. It could go either way on that. But that private public life is going to be readjusted at this time. You may need to deal with a parental issue that helps everybody feel more stable. So that's what I'm saying. It could be that you and your siblings and loved ones are working with a particular family issue, and you have to come up with some decisions at this time. And the information you may have to really get detailed with and just look at it from a critical standpoint of like, how do we make this all work? You may see that your acts of service and hard work are being seen by someone who champions for you, or you are the champion for someone who deserves it. And you want to make sure people hear and they get that you are the one shouting it out, going, did you see what this person has done? It's amazing. Or vice versa, where that you're the one that's being given that boost or that accolade, giving you a little bit more of that public view or that public image. And I will say a few of you Sages will be considered an expert in your field. So that's wonderful, especially if you're doing any publishing, any writing, any form of speaking, where there's a topic that you really are passionate about, that this is a time where you can get the audience that wants to listen. The sun enters Aries March 20th, spring equinox. This is in your fifth house. This is all about pleasure, fun, yes, love affairs or romance. So it's not just love affairs, but romance returns or it gets energized if you are bonded with somebody. And if you're in the dating world, then you will have this renewed strength and renewed hope of like, yeah, maybe I can get back on the saddle, or the floodgates open. Let's say you're doing the online dating and it's been like, blah, 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 blah. During the second half of March is a perfect time where you may have those conversations, those connections. Some of you may be traveling and you can meet somebody from a different place and start this long distance relationship at this time. But you definitely are going to feel that there's a renewed energy returning to your sense of pleasure, your sense of fun, and any form of romance or love affair, and love affair, even with your beloved, can bring back some lightness and can ignite some joy and just make you shine. You may meet someone through some form of competition as well, if you're looking for that. So some of you Sages like to compete, maybe do CrossFit or, in your local community, or maybe you're going to a big competition and you connect with somebody, you're like, hey, we just jive. I love that kind of connection. You may be seeking out more ways to express yourself and your creative ideas, doing it in your own independent way. And they should be well received because people see all the joy and the excitement that you have and your passion with it, and so just keep dancing your own dance. Take charge in the situations that require your talents. Know your self-worth. Know that this is exactly your time to shine. And some of you may be, let's see if I can find my words. Some of you may find yourself coaching or teaching children at this time because it's fifth house. And so if you have children that are, let's say, playing baseball or soccer, or, volleyball, whatever, some form of sports, you may be coaching them. Maybe it's dance. I don't think it's a dance coach. It's a teacher. Same. But that may be something that you get involved in and that you enjoy. It's time to get that reignited. And it just brings you joy and pleasure to watch your children succeed, to mix it up a little bit, to learn and build those muscles of socializing, of leadership, of athleticism that's really good for them. March 21st, Mercury canoodles Jupiter and Mars will sextile Chiron. This emphasizes your third, fourth, fifth houses. I bring this up because I sense that some of you may be moving in with somebody at this time, which helps you find relief and healing from stresses or worries about home instability. If you are already living with someone, you may find yourselves talking about ways in which you can make the home more stable. I think of like a roommate situation. If there's been a little instability there about, let's say you buy food and they eat it, that you have a talk about it. And it's like, are we on the same page? This is it may sound like a little thing, but it's the little things that can often create the irritations that then build if we don't talk about it at that moment, and then resentment is there. Anyway, so this is a time where there's great healing that can show up within the home. You could attract a line of work or a relationship that offers healing from past traumas. So if you've had some really difficult trauma or situations in the past that have no fear, and you can have great hope and faith that this relationship or this kind of work that you're doing can offer the healing that you've been looking for. It can give you that hope because you're receiving that income, or you're receiving that impactful work, or you're receiving the love of another, and you're able to express that love, and that they're very passionate, they're very patient, they're very kind with you, and that lets you work through some relationship issues that you may have had, maybe some trust issues in the past, or just feeling as though, there's stability here. You could take on greater support role within your family unit, or find family that provides help for you to support your long-term goals. So talk with your family members. And when I say family, as I mentioned before, not always family of origin, but family of choice. It could go either way. Some of you say, I don't really have any family members. Well, what groups do you belong to? What's in your community? They may become your family. Your friends are more like family to you. So talk to them and let them know, hey, here's some of my long-term goals. This is what I really want in my life. And they're going to show up and offer their support. And you may end up supporting them. They may be the ones saying, hey, I need some help. And you're able to support them. And that also not only helps them heal, but it can help you. One of the things that I love so much about my one-on-one sessions is that I learn and I grow and I heal and I work through stuff just as much as the person I'm working with. And so don't dismiss the fact if your friends or family come to you and say, hey, I need some help, that you won't learn something as well. And you'll benefit as well. All right, Sag, I really hope this helps. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Come find me at jamiedawn.com. I look forward to working with you. Have a great month.